Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Donovan's YouTube channel, and today I'm going to teach you how to cook the best best chickpea curry you ever had in your life, let me tell you. And it's from India. It's an Indian dish, and it's so good. I've been cooking this for a while. Cooked it at camp meetings. I've catered it. It's really delicious. Everybody loves it. I even had a couple from India say that it was the most authentic dish that they had ever had, something to that extent, which was such a blessing. I praise God because He's given me talent to do things. So many people asked for this recipe that I decided I was just going to make an entire video on the subject just to show everybody exactly how. Now I can link them to this video. So all of the items listed, all the things that you will need, all the spices and everything, even the step-by-step tutorial, it's all going to be in the description below. So just scroll down, click description, and that's where you'll find all the entire recipe. As we start with the spices, we're going to add 4 parts of ground coriander. This provides a bright and citrusy backbone to the entire curry. 3 parts of ground cumin, which adds a earthy and warm, slightly nutty taste. 2 parts of garam masala, which adds warmth and a bit of complexity as it is a blend of multiple spices. 2 parts of turmeric powder, which adds a earthly, mild, pungent flavor. It also gives the curry its color. We're going to add 1 part of smoked paprika. If you put too much of the smoked paprika, it will be overpowering, but this gives it a nice smoked flavor. We're going to add 1 part of ground cinnamon. I use Ceylon cinnamon. We're going to do 1 part of amchur, which is dried mango powder. This adds a tang and a little bit of sourness and brightness to the curry. We're going to add 1 part of chili powder. We're going to do 1 part of cayenne pepper and adjust this to your taste, depending on how spicy you want it. Do half of a part of black pepper. We're going to use half of a part of kasuri methi. I did basically a full tablespoon because these are dried fenugreek leaves. Now, these spices, all of them together make this beautiful picture here, and you're going to want to mix this up very good. I use this jar because I do this curry a lot, so I just do this in parts, and I just sit here and I mix it up because this will last me probably about 4 or 5 curries. So I would recommend, if you want to do this recipe multiple times, that's what you do. Now what you want to do is just wash your garbanzo beans. Give it a good rinse there. Alright, so what I like to do is I take my washed chickpeas and I put it in my trusty Mega Chef right here. It's a electric pressure cooker. Love this thing. Huge. You can see it right here. It was just a great, huge machine. And so I just like to pour those in there. And I like to use purified water instead of tap water. Would never recommend using tap water when you're making beans or legumes or rice even, because if you have bad tap water, then it feeds into the food. It leaks into the food and it doesn't taste so good. So some people don't notice. I notice. So for your garbanzo beans, I did about 3 cups. So this 3/4 of a gallon right here should do well. So I like to take this and it's good to put it on for about an hour with dried garbanzo beans. You can soak them overnight and they won't take so long, and it may even be healthier for you. But most of the times I'm in a pinch and I do not have time to soak beans overnight. So start it for about an hour. Take my trusty salt and You get a good amount of salt, about like that. Put it in there. So for this recipe, you want about, I do 3 bell peppers, an onion, jalapeno, and some garlic. I have my beautiful assistant here who is ready to help us with this. She's going to chop these up for us. Here are the chickpeas after they're done. Nice and hot. Here's all of our peppers and onions. And here's the garlic. Alrighty guys, so you get your pot, or your pan here. I got this big one. You just get some oil. This is peanut oil, but you can use avocado. Wouldn't recommend anything like olive oil. Just put that in there, a good amount. Be a little generous. Now what we have right here is mustard seed. Take a good little scoop of mustard seed right here. Jesus Christ said that if you have the faith the size of a mustard seed, then you could move mountains. Now let's see exactly how big one of these little mustard seeds are. That's the faith you need to move mountains. Isn't that amazing? Next we have our cumin seeds right here. So you want to do about an equal amount of cumin seeds and an equal amount of mustard seeds. And now these need to fry a little bit in the oil. They need to fry and pop. Add just a little bit more oil to this because we're going to fry all of our vegetables. So nice thin layer of oil. So you see these, you just spread them around and get them in that hot oil until they start popping. So right there, they're popping. So that's a good time. You want to fry them until they pop, and then you want to add in your vegetables here. Don't add the garlic in. Also, you need some diced tomatoes. I wasn't able to get that on camera, but just dice them up nice. They don't have to be real perfect. Alrighty everybody, now you want to get your vegetables here. You want to add them to the pot and start sizzling. These are your onions, your bell peppers, jalapeno if you threw one in there. Look at that. All those beautiful vegetables. Now, you want these vegetables cooked for a good little bit. They want to be soft and not crunchy. So you're going to saute them for a good little bit on about medium heat. And we'll come back to you when that is finished. Oh, before I forget, take some salt, because we did not add salt to the spices. So just take some salt. Put a good amount of salt in there. To your taste. You may want less or you may want more salt. So I just do that to the vegetables because I feel like it infuses just a little bit better. So right here I got some brown basmati rice, and this is what we're going to be using for our curry. You can use regular basmati if you don't want to use brown. You have to know that brown does take a little while and it's a little more delicate. So always wash your rice. We're just going to come over here and give it a good rinse. Never know what's in there. Okay, so now I have my rice all nice and washed, and I'm doing 2 cups in a rice cooker. I want to put some salt and a little bit of oil. And now with 2 cups of brown basmati in this rice cooker, I'm going to do 4 cups of water. Got it? All right. So I went ahead and covered them just to get this kind of going a little quicker. Now, I have some garlic paste here. Even though we have garlic in there, a little bit of garlic paste never hurt nothing. They really like, garlic's good for you, so, you know. And then I also have this stuff, which is minced ginger. Now this stuff is, stuff's pretty hardcore, so you really don't need a lot. About that much for this big old plate is all I'm going to use. And that'll be plenty. If you use too much ginger, it will be very spicy. They're almost there. You want them to where they're soft. The onions look about there, but the peppers, they're just about there. They're very, very close. We'll give them another couple minutes. So now you want to put in your minced garlic here. I missed filming the spot where it was going in there, but there it is. You really want to do it a little earlier than I did, but it shouldn't hurt anything. We're gonna still let it cook for a good couple minutes so that garlic will infuse. Alrighty, now it's time to add in our homemade spice that we made. So what I like to do is do about a tablespoon, a heaping tablespoon, over the vegetables. Once they, and maybe I'll do a little bit more, about a tablespoon and a half. And just mix it around, get it nice and coated, and this will do is this will give a nice flavor, kind of extract some of the flavor out with the oil and the spices. Let that fry for a minute on high heat. We're going to take our diced tomatoes here. We're just going to add that to the pot. Boom. Add that to the pot. Now once you've added this tomatoes to the pot, stir them in a little bit. And this is where I like to add a little bit more salt. I like to add the salt at these times because I feel it gives it a slightly better flavor, but you can always add salt at the end. Like I said, you can put it in, but you can't take it out. So I'm going to do 1 more tablespoon, or probably about 2 more tablespoons of our homemade curry spice here. If you don't know where to get some of these spices, I got mine at the Indian food market and some things I got off Amazon. We're just going to cook those diced tomatoes with these spices. You get a nice color there. That's what we're looking for. Let those flavors infuse for a minute. So yeah, give it a minute or two. Frying. Let's let all those nice flavors infuse. All right, now we're gonna add our chickpeas. I'm gonna add a good amount of chickpeas because I'm making a lot. What you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to just try not to mash the chickpeas. So I'm scooping from the bottom, and I'm trying not to mash them as I just mix it up a little bit. Those chickpeas a little bit hot and mixed in with those spices. I'm going to add a little bit more salt at this point. I'm going to add 2 more tablespoons of our homemade spice, or we'll see, I'll put about 1 tablespoon and then another tablespoon of spice. You don't want to over mix it because you do not want these chickpeas to burst and mush. So now you're going to take your coconut milk. It's our trusty coconut milk. We're And just add that all in there. Then, once you add the coconut milk, you want to gently and carefully just mix it all in there. And that's the kind of color you want. It's the kind of look you want. This is a lot of curry. This is enough to feed a lot of people because I'm making extra in order to take with me. And the salt, that's something you're really going to have to figure out according to your taste. I would give precise measurements, but it's really something you kind of have to figure out. It's not very hard. Like I said, add what you think is best, and then from there you can taste it. Like right here, I can take this, take a little bit here, and taste it. And that tastes really good, if I don't say so myself. So, just let this go on low heat. And you really, if you really want this to be really good, what you want to do is you want to just leave this on low heat for about 30 minutes. For about 30 minutes or even an hour. It doesn't matter. I've had a pot of chickpea curry going for multiple hours and it turned out great. So you just want to give it time, and if you do give it time, all of this curry will infuse. All of these flavors will work with each other, and it'll just be really good. Now this chickpea curry is packed with great stuff. Tomatoes, peppers, onions, garlic, ginger, turmeric, cumin, all kinds of great stuff. This is a very healthy vegan meal. You can even add carrots if you'd like at the vegetable section. You can add any vegetable you want. You could add celery, you could add carrots. I recommend if you do carrots, chop them up kind of tiny so that way they properly infuse. You don't want crunchy carrots, but it's good. Absolutely delicious, and you can use, this is just the way that I've been doing it. And I've been told, because I've catered at camp meetings, and I've been told this is the most authentic curry that they've ever had. And this was from ministers and missionaries. This is from missionaries that actually lived in India for a long time. And when they ate my curry, they said, wow, that is some of the most authentic curry I've ever had in the United States. You make this, I promise you it won't disappoint. It'll be a family favorite. It'll be a staple in your home. It's just absolutely delicious. Absolutely good. And it's very healthy. You would never believe that something so good could be so healthy. All right, guys, so that's it. That's how you do the curry. It would have been nice had I remembered to take some pictures of it afterwards, but I was cooking it quickly and we had to leave, so I was gonna eat it much later. By the time I got home, I forgot to take pictures and videos of the final result, the curry on the rice, but I promise you, it was delicious. I want to say something for a lot of people. I used to be very intimidated with cooking. I didn't know, I would get nervous with the ingredients and portions and everything. I want to encourage anybody that's cooking or is nervous about cooking, don't worry about it. Don't worry about if you put a little bit too much of something in, it'll be fine. It's an experiment, you'll learn from it. If you put a little less, it'll be fine. It's an experiment, you'll learn from it. Just cook and you will learn. As you cook, you will get better and better and better. It's really amazing. Eventually, you'll get to the point where you can just do it with no problems at all. And that's such a nice point to get to. So I just want to encourage you all in that. And comment down below if you try this recipe and how it turns out. Thank you, and God bless.